Now, I know you guys may see this, know this, seen this before. It's basically electric power station, equivalent to a form of petrol generator. Right, that's all you need to know. It's just a form of storing the energy. Like I said, it is different ways I'm looking at this to survive for this war. Now, this war, this energy, if I speak to many people about electrical grid and a gas grid, many women will say Australia is owned by the foreign companies. Now, whether the foreign companies will continue to give us the oil, sorry, the electricity or gas, that is a different story. All right. I'm not going to say yes and no to you, but we're paying premium price, and obviously they will have to, making money. All right. But what if they decided not making money and really serve their country? All right. Like I said, their country comes first. Making money it is first as well, but they have to serve their country. So we'll either have to pay a premium price on electricity, gas, and petrol. All right, you have that being dead, and also I just go extra measure. Now I'm not going to get too much with the power stations because it's not the most popular thing. Oh my god, why my internet is slow? I have to pause the video. Then when I went to J-Car, I went and discussed about it to the worker. The worker's like, with the size of your battery, you may as well have that. And as well, you have, the one that I just showed you is 2,000 amps, or 2,000 watts. I need 2,400 watts. And also you need to have a form of petrol generator. Of course, back in my head, I'm like, petrol generator, petrol is going to run out. That's why I didn't think too much. Then I've gone to this ecosystem. A lot of tradies and off-grids, going through this route. They put it in the back of the car. Usually tradies would do this if their workplace doesn't have any electricity. And this particular bloke he dropped my conversation, what we had, and he's like, you should put 2 of these. That will get your job what they have done. Because my e-bike battery is a big, big boy. All right. Then he told me, I wish I had a slim line. All right. That's a slimmer version. And I just saw one even sexier. Look at that slim one. Look at that. Oh my God. If I was a trader, I can mount that on the wall, no problem, on my car. But I got a hatchback. It doesn't work that way. But what he says, I can put this in the back underneath of the seat. So that makes sense. I can do that if I whatever I can. And the one thing that came across that really sparked my eyes interest and I really wanted to get is this one here. This is like all in one, built in. All right, it's like a power station. The only thing I need to purchase is basically AC/DC inverter. AC/DC charger, and as well with inverter, 2,000 watts inverter or 1,000 watts inverter, one or the other, doesn't matter. And that will cost me more, all right? So that's the price tag, $800. And apparently for the, the AC/DC charger costs $219. And that's on top, I got to buy inverter. So that will incomplete the ecosystem. Now, what they say, and I asked them, how do you convert this 120 amps to wattage? And they say I have to times by 12. So and then 2 1 0 4 4 1. All right, so that's what I will get for one. And I told them, look, I need 2 of these big boys, and I was really thinking of getting solar panel. Then obviously they start selling the flexi panels, this and that, and I'm like, I'm not gonna need flexi panels. I need a big boy, the stable panels. So I looked into, solar panels, and I'm saying if I get a flexi one, what does the layout look like if I put in my car? Because my landlord doesn't allow me to have anything outside the house. So that being said, I was looking at it, and I had this solar panel for my Ryobi a battery. Let me just pause. So I had this while back, and it's a 14 watt. All right, 14 watt. All right, I wanted to test it out, see is it worth getting a solar panel in the car. So a 14 watt, I've charged up two different occasions. Now, when I mean by charging up, I mean by charging up a Ryobi 2 amps batteries. And obviously, I only have 1 bar left. And I was hoping, maybe end of the day, probably give me 2 or 3 bars. That would be great. But as you know, in the winters, we're not having the most sunny, we're not summer vibes right now. We're not have the best winds, suns. So having that, I left it inside the car, obviously on the windshield, and see what could I get. Now, according to YouTubers who has did the test, it probably takes 40 or 60% less than putting outside, because it doesn't get the full sun ray, because it eliminates glass, apparently eliminates a bit of the energy. Then I'm like, all right, fair enough. I'm happy if I charge it out there for 5 or 6, 7 hours, whatever, out the front of the car, and see how much I get. Yesterday, it was 1 battery, and I charge it up to see if I can charge it up, and it doesn't do any dent at all. So it didn't charge, and it's useless. And I said to myself, if it's a 14 watt and cannot struggle to charge a 2 amps battery, how am I going to charge a 70 amp e-bike battery? So then I do a back of my head calculation. If, for example, I install 3 or 4 solar panel on top of my car permanently and charge it through. Now, apparently, I need to install more than 200 watts solar panel, which I can buy, no problem. No, I got no issues buying it. Now, when I go through that, it's not going through, I believe it's 5 kilowatt, 0.5 kilowatt, or perhaps a 0.5 kilowatt, and as well going just the shitty sun that we have right now. All right, and 1 is not enough. 2 is hopefully you go over 11, because the power station would say this is the charging point. If you go after 11, then obviously I do maths game back on my head. I'm like, all right, if I get 1 solar panel, if 5 kilowatt, 0.5 kilowatt, another one is 5 kilowatt, another one's 5 kilowatt, and I got the third one, that'll be 15 kilowatt. How much longer is a 15 kilowatt is going to charge up my 70 amps battery? Or I didn't want to say 70 amps. I just put 2,000 watts, and they're saying like 22 hours or 25 hours. And I just say, I'm like, that's BS, because I'm trying to charge my Ryobi battery on the 14 amps. It didn't do any dent. So I'm not buying to the solar panel, not because the weather is just, I need a lot of solar panels, all right, to get to that stage. And I'm not here to say good or bad about it. So apparently this only stores 500 watts, all right? So that means I only can buy total of 500 watts of solar panel, unfortunately, if I get this bad boy, all right? So if I get 5, then I need 3 on top, or 3 or 4 on top of my car. It's not going to be too practical. And then 1 on the windshield. I don't know how much energy would I get. Would I able to charge half the battery of the end of the week? That's what I don't quite understand. But anyway, that's not just my complaint, and I went through and dig through even further. I love this ecosystem, not going to lie to you, but it would cost more money for me. But man, the slim line looks beautiful. There's a 200 amps, and 300 amps is even bigger, but man, I can't fit it in my car. So what I did was I bought something yesterday. I don't know why it's loading. All right. I don't know why it's loading, and I got to go to my training right now. I don't know why it's loading. All you need to know, I found a petrol generator that came to my mind. And in America, somehow, I don't know how it did this, but somehow in America, they call it a propane. I'm like, all right, propane, maybe they use different language and over there. And it turns out they use dual fuel inverter petrol generator. That connected the conversation that I had in J car. I'm like, all right, let's look into this. So I'm like, all right, cool. Oh, so this is what they call propane in America. Okay, gasolina, gas in America is petrol, and bang, I got this one. All right. So, all right, cool. So I said to myself, all right, I got electricity. I can go to different places. Workplace can charge it up. Hopefully they don't see me. Not only just that, but also I got an EV charger that I bought that is adapted to 120 volts, no, 240 volts on my bike. Tick. Now I've got electricity sorted. Now I just need to find, okay, this petrol generator. Okay, it can do gas as well. I can literally can go Bunnings and a petrol station and grab a gas barbecue bottle and chuck it back off my e-bike and bang, go back home and let it run for 6 hours if I have to, just to charge up my e-bike. So I'm just playing different ways on getting there, and I know it's a very costly and yeah, that's about it. I'm just making this video just to prepare for this energy crisis. That's all.